Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. We've got a spicy race for you today. This is gonna be Dracarys representing Clown Parade, going up against EmoSaru, who's representing Yutang Clan. Joining me today is in the commentary booth is Crazy Sunshine. How you doing?
I am doing very well. So this is the first of two races between these two teams, and this is coming out of the Lake Hylia division of the Light World Conference. And I'm pretty sure this will be a very fun race. For those of you who haven't seen any races yet this week, this is our second week into the league, and we are doing Ambrosia mode.
Yep, and Ambrosia means they will be starting out with the sword, as you can see from their starting screen over here, and it will be a standard setting, so they're going to go through the escape sequence.
Yep. So, and it's also a shared sword. So once our runners get past Uncle, they will be immediately equipped with a sword.
Yeah, we'll want to keep a close eye when they start, because the first thing that happens in the game is that Uncle's going to give them a boots hint. So don't want to miss that.
Yeah. So Uncle will tell you if the boots are either in the light world, dark world, or if they're in a dungeon.
Yep. So it looks like last week Clown Parade went ahead and beat their opponents 2-0. Meanwhile, Yutang Clan yet to win a race, but they'll be looking to get on the board today.
Yep. And I believe there should be, I don't know if it's active here. I wasn't sure we had a command for, there we go. So that's the command for Ambrosia. Kind of gives you a quick little rundown of what the mode is all about. And off we go.
Boots in Death Mountain. All right, so they might want to make their way up there.
We have our first map check. We have red crystal at Hera, blue pendant at Desert Palace tonight.
Alright, and we're going to see them try to figure out what the prize packs here are on the guards. They'll want to pick up some bombs to try to check out Back of Escape. Also finding the book here. So the guards are on that full magic prize pack. I believe that is one that does have bombs.
So our runners could go into Desert Palace if they want to.
Okay, so I'm wrong. That full magic is not a prize pack that has bombs. So you see the runners going ahead and skipping any farming. And they're gonna go ahead and try to pull off some NMG strats here.
Yeah, we'll see if anything useful comes out in the front of escape for our runners tonight. Yeah, I'm personally not too familiar with the prize packs. I don't know if that's always been a thing with Randomizer, or if that's a new thing with version 31.
Yeah, it is new with V31.
Okay, as I figured.
Reverted back to the regular prize packs. So the prize packs will always, the contents will always be the same now, but they'll be shuffled amongst the different enemies. Before it was like just completely random.
Gotcha. And we did come out with a lamp in the boomerang chest, so no dark walking tonight, guys. And with that book in hand, there could be an early pedestal check. Get that out of the way, see if you have to clear, if it's an all dungeon seed, or you have to worry about pendants this seed.
Yeah, Emo doing a good job clearing out escape here.
Mhm.
I want to say that that's her NMG experience paying off.
Yeah.
Looks like Drac is somewhere around like maybe like 10 seconds behind at this point.
Usually with a good energy mindset and running this game for a number of times, I feel like about 5-6 minutes is a good time to complete escape, I want to say.
Yep. Emo killing a few guards there. She might have gotten a little bit confused about the prize pack.
Yeah.
These rats are on a different prize pack though. I believe the rupee is not a good one though. So I'm gonna say no bombs from them today. They'll have to come back.
Yeah.
And figure out what's in those 3 chests.
Yeah, with the map we just found, there's definitely going to be not necessarily useful, but they're definitely going to be not the map in that chest. So once we're done with the escape sequence, we'll see if the runners choose to do the standard Kakariko start, or they're doing save and quit and go down, look elsewhere. Once we get this opening sequence out of the way, the rest of the seed is open to the rest of the runners. We'll see where they'll go from here.
Both getting sub 6 escapes, which is pretty good.
All right. So out of the sanctuary, looks like both runners are going to be doing the standard Kakariko starts. We'll have to find some bombs, or worst case scenario, we'll just buy a 10-pack from the town. And looks like... because Emo's coming from the opposite side.
It's a very nice tree pole, but Emo's about to get that as well.
Yep, 4 bombs from the tree pole, and gonna see what's on Lumberjack Ledge tonight, and it is just a big 20. So won't be clearing Aga 2 for that item, but we may have to do Aga 2 if we need Dark World access.
Alright, let's see what CAC has in store for us.
Yep, we'll have enough bombs to do all the bomb checks. Should be able to get enough money to pay off the bottle vendor. It's a pretty standard start after completing the castle, in standard mode at least.
Yeah, Drac being very thorough here. He did the lumberjack check, and now he's going to give us a look at Ped. Meanwhile, Emo's finding Mirror. That's a good find. And Ice Rod.
Oh, use this to become invincible. I believe that's the magic cape.
Don't remember if that's Cape or Blue Cane.
It's one of those two, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, is it Berna? Okay. I guess invincible means it's Berna. I think invisible will be cape. Okay, that's what I figured.
Gonna get a little high five here in the well.
So unless our runners want a little bit of safeties to go, for whatever reason of the seed, I'm pretty sure Pedestal is dead for the seed.
Yeah, these runners aren't gonna need Blue Cane.
Nah.
Kakariko definitely has some goods here, so we've already found a glove, mirror, ice rod, moon pearl. So now whenever they get into the Dark World, I'm sure they're gonna be hoping it's not a pendant turtle rock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's the last two pendants are in the Dark World, so it's there's a possibility. And let's see, Emo is going back up. Oh, she's gonna check out the back of Escape.
Yeah, it looks like she's gonna check out Lumberjack as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh
no. Okay, going for boots. Here we go.
Interesting. Okay. Now, when Uncle says Death Mountain, it doesn't necessarily. It could mean either Light World or Dark World, correct? We're not sure which one.
It has to be Light World. If it's in Dark Death Mountain, the hint will say Dark World.
Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Huh, good to know. This is a very early play in Death Mountain from Emo. And that's a Master Sword for EmoSaru.
Alright, Drax's gonna go back and get his ether. I mean, I understand going up to Death Mountain to try to find those boots. The problem is right now that it can only check a few locations, but I guess boots happens to be one of them.
Well, there it is. That answers her question.
Did you catch what was inside Spectacle Rock? It looked like a bottle.
It was a fairy in a bottle, looked like.
Alright, but Emo choosing to skip it for now.
And either tablet has just 20 rupees. She can go ahead and clear Hera in just under about 12 minutes.
Yeah, you're here. It's a crystal dungeon. Might as well. Already found one item though, so we know that the other item is gonna be on Moldorm. Meanwhile, Drax finding the bow in back of Escape, so that's nice.
Yep. So one thing about Ambrosia mode is that bosses and dungeons are always going to have an item. So they're not going to have a dungeon item, so they won't have map, compass, or keys.
Alright, so Emo is kind of realizing that the Harapod's not going to work without a hookshot.
Yeah.
I got a little worried there for a little bit.
Looks like Dracarys going to show off some splash deletion. It pulls it off very nicely. Let's see, and Hobo Under the Bridge gives us the mushroom. Alright. Okay, well, we didn't think about starting our fetch quest this early in the seed, but alright.
So with these checks, it looks like Dracarys is gonna go for trying to find like a hook shot or a hammer to let him get over to East Death Mountain before going up there.
And also with the bow, Dracarys can also clear Eastern Palace as well. And Saha's closet has bombs, money, and a piece of hearts. And it's not gonna ask Saha where our green pendant is. So that's still a mystery for us.
Keeping us in suspense.
Mm-hmm. EmoSaru already at the Moldorm fight. You're gonna have no problem with the boots doing some nice dash work and with the Master Sword and gets it done. And Moldorm has a blue boomerang and also our first crystal.
Yeah, so Drac's gonna lose a little bit of time here. I mean, he's gonna have to walk through this dungeon, whereas when Emo comes here, she's gonna just be able to run all the way through.
Yeah. Alright, let's see where Emo goes from here. She'll probably do back of escape as well. I haven't been really keeping much track of the items that Dracarys has been finding in Eastern, but I haven't really pinpointed anything useful yet.
Yeah, I think he's found one so far.
Okay. Alright, and Sick Kid today gives us money.
Find it interesting, Emo just ran right past Bonk Rocks, didn't bother checking it. We'll see if that comes back to haunt her.
Yeah. And she can also check the Pegasus Rocks as well. Yeah, we're only a hammer or goldsmiths away from Dark World access for our murders tonight.
Yeah, neither runner has gone into South Shore yet, so it might be there. Or if it's not, then they're gonna have to probably go into Pendant Desert Palace.
Yeah, so the interesting part about Ambrosia mode is when you come down to Pendant dungeons, if you're looking for items, you know you're gonna have to defeat the boss in those dungeons for the last item. So we'll see if either one will take that risk of going into deserts if they don't find anything else of usefulness. Right, and we'll finally gonna check out Back of Escape. We'll be gaining her bow. And Dracarys is gonna meet up with our good friends, the Armless Knights. Gonna start for that quick kill. And there we go.
Yep, very nice classic quick kill by Drac for his first crystal.
Yep, and comes out with a shield. Alright, and I imagine Dracarys is gonna check out Death Mountain now. And follow up with what EmoSaru did earlier.
No, looks like he's still gonna look for his hookshot or hammer.
Huh?
I mean, from his point of view, he can only check 3 locations on Death Mountain.
That's true, yeah.
So the odds are that he's thinking the boots is not there.
Yeah. I set up a fake flipper here to head up to the witch's hut. See if anything comes out from the mushroom today. It's going to help the witch make a wonderful mushroom stew. And we'll see what she will give to us in return. Oh, he's not gonna hard reset to save the mushroom.
I might want the money for Zora instead.
That's true, yeah. Although technically the mushroom is out of logic because we did find it under the we found it with the hobo. But we'll see where we go from here. No one has done the rest of the Southern Hyrule checks, so no Flooded Dam and Mini Moldrum Cave and Ice Rock Cave, correct?
Yep, we haven't seen any of that yet.
Okay, that's what I thought. I feel like I guess there's a lot of stuff that can be completed in terms of dungeons that the runners want to get those out of the way. But Dracarys will be leading the old man out of the mountain, and we'll be getting his boots.
Yep, kind of retracing each other's steps for now.
Yeah, we are still looking for our access into the Dark World. Although with our current layout, Aga 1 is available with the Master Sword and the Lamp. I didn't want to point that out, but I did. But again, there's a lot of checks still left to be made. Alright, and our pendants are in Mire and in Turtle Rock is our green pendants.
Just what they didn't want to see.
Yes, again, version 31 has the somewhat weird ability of finding... You find Ice Water early, Turtle Rock is almost always going to be a pendant. And Ice Palace is our second red crystal. So Dracarys and Emo have essentially switched places in terms of dungeons to complete. And we're not going to see anything too new for a little bit. We'll see Emo pulling off the... Should be getting the quick kill, although I think one ran away from her. So be really careful with her leftover arrows, though. There we go.
Yeah, just goes to show you that even really good runners do make mistakes every now and then.
Oh yeah, of course, absolutely.
Yeah, Emo did compete in the main tournament this year. I believe she got knocked out in the first round of brackets, so top 64. Dracarys didn't participate in the main tourney, but he did make top 8 of the Challenge Cup.
Yep. Two very, very solid runners. I did call one of EmoSaru's races. It was herself and Chelsea Lynn, and I don't know if anyone remembers that race, but it was quite the race to remember. That's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah, two very, amazing runners, and we'll see what comes out of our race tonight. Alright, and now Emo's going to check out the rest of the Southern Hyrule tracks and see what Mini Moldrum Cave has. Oh, these sword beams make this room so much easier.
I feel like Ether would be even faster, though.
And Tempered? Money. Heart Container. More money. And more money. Yeah, so not even half an hour in, and we're already at Tempered Sword.
Yeah, rip your fantasy points. This is the end of the South Shore. This Dark World Exodus is starting to become alarmingly looking like Aga.
There's the Arrow of Destiny in Ice Rock Cave. And see... Oh, like...
Going back for that
there we
water
go.
walk.
Alright, looks like Dracarys is going to be following in Emo's footsteps, doing the rest of the doing his checks down here. Emo, on the other hand, is going to be checking out Lake Hylia. Oh.
So that loses her water walk, and she's going to end up orphaning Waterfall Chest here.
Is that the powder?
Yeah, it did look like powder.
Ah.
I guess you can always splash delete to get, like,
I think, yeah, I think with,
stuff.
yeah, splash deletion can be done with, if you have certain items, and one of them is the bow, so I imagine she's going to try and complete it through that. And Piece of Heart with Zora today, so not the worst life lesson, but could be worse.
Yeah, so she's gone through the Armos fight. She needs to reset her variable, and she's gonna decide not to bother. Oh, she might have been... Oh, did she run out of arrows? Alright.
Ah, yeah, she did. Dracarys, meanwhile, is gonna head over. Is heading in. Is in Desert Palace, rather. So that's something I learned in one of the races last night, that if you try to do splash deletion, but if you've already defeated the Armor's Knights, it messes things up. Not too clear. I'm not too clear as to how that works, but it sounds very interesting as to see how that variable can change up.
Yeah, that slot that gets replaced cycles around based on
Oh,
the arrows work. But you can only have 3 arrows on the screen at a time, so the game kind of keeps track of which was the last arrow that you put out, so it knows which one to get rid of.
Interesting. Okay.
And if the game is getting rid of the wrong arrow, then the splash delete setup doesn't really work. Emo's finding Fire Rod, so that's good for her to go back.
Fire doesn't really give us Dark World access, though, but it's nice to have. Oh, never mind. There's the hammer. All right. So that does Dark World access, and it looks like Dracarys is going to complete Desert for that second item.
Alright, so Emo's not going to do the Aga gamble, so she'll be rewarded with her Dark World access. The calculation might have been a little bit different if they had Hookshot, which would have opened up a lot of the Dark World to them.
Yeah. Yeah, so Dracarys found the mushroom off the hobo first, and he did turn it into the witch, but did not do a hard reset, so he is unable to do the fake powder.
Yeah, fake powder got a lot of attention early on because shortly after it was discovered, I believe like one of the like an important tiebreaker was decided from the use of fake powder. But I think over time, a lot of the top runners have started deciding that doing fake powder takes a lot of time for something that's usually not worth it.
Right. Right, and just a single arrow, just like a single ruby coming out of Blood Moldus, but Dracarys does have his Dark World access with the hammer.
So Desert was not boots locked, meaning they could have gotten their hammer first here and then kind of cleared out all of Death Mountain in one go.
That's right, yeah. And it looks like Emo is gonna save and quit. Yeah, I think Dracarys was the only person. It was the only runner who has checked the pedestal. I don't think Emo has gone there yet. But looking for her, this will actually pay off because Lemlos didn't have anything of importance. And there's silvers. Cool.
Good start to Hype Cave. But the rest was garbage.
Silvers are nice though. Actually, yeah, Chap brings up a good point. I think in Desert Palace it was boots locked because the key was on the torch. Because
I missed that.
That's right, because they had to go on the right side for the big key. Okay, so let's see here. We have many options for our runners to choose from. I think Dracarys has Palace of Darkness on his mind.
I mean, it's a clearable crystal dungeon. Why not?
Yeah. Let's see. Emo's gonna check out the Bombos tablets. And just some monies.
Might take a while for Dracarys to make his way back over to Waterfall Ferry at this point.
For the fire rod. Also like to point out that with both Mire and Turtle Rock as our pendant dungeons, Somaria might not be needed unless the big key in Gannis Tower is on the right side. If I'm reading that correctly.
Yep. Emo finding a flute. Not really what she wants to see, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, flute's nice for fast travel, but
Yeah, you
can't really
don't
do
want to
much.
really open up that possibility of having to go into Mire.
Yeah, our runners are still looking for that second glove upgrade as well. So, and just 20 rupees off the digging game, and one more dig for good luck. So, in terms of items, we're still looking for. Definitely need the flippers, hook shots, and I think that's it.
Wow. That sounds wrong, but I think you're
Yeah,
right.
it sounds wrong, but in terms of what we have, in terms of our other crystal dungeons, yeah. So we need a lift upgrade, flippers, and hook shots.
Alright, Track going straight for the back of Pod here. He did find the big key, and he knows EmoSaru has an item, so might as well do this first.
Yep. The silver arrows makes going through the dungeons much faster.
Emo, interestingly, going for Village of Outcasts first, even though she's got the equipment to full clear Skull Woods. But she may be saving it for afterwards and then following that up with a trip to like Graveyard Ledge and then maybe even all the way to Catfish.
And Emo is in Thieves Town. And 1 silver arrow to the face. And Hemelsworth King is dead for Dracarys. Oh! Oh, that's our 4th sword. I think the one sword that Dracarys still hasn't found was the one in Mini Moldrum Cave?
Yeah, he hasn't
Okay.
been there yet.
Which, at this rate, I don't know if he'll actually make it there, but Tempered Sword Silvers is a good loadout for the rest of the seed. But at the very least, we'll know that Emo will be getting that Butter Sword when she gets to Pod and Hemelsworth King.
Sometimes it's easy to muscle memory your way into doing a hammer jump in that position,
Mm-hmm.
but Drac didn't have a small key to be able to get out if he did that,
Yeah.
so he's gonna come back for it.
I think by logic, no small keys can be found in the Dark Maze. Or am I...
Yep.
Okay. Make sure I remember that correctly. Although chat does bring up a good point in regards to the fire rod. That was in the Waterfall Fairy Cave, and that is blocked by flippers.
The runners have been on pretty diverging routes throughout this whole run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Emo's taking care of Crystal Dungeons, and Dracarys is gonna, I imagine, check out East Death Mountain from here. And oh, there's the... Those are gold mitts.
Vanilla mitts.
Oh. And oh, I think, was that the key to Samari on the floating island?
It did look like it.
Okay. Well, I feel like in the event we need that for a right side GT, it's right there. And Emo making quick work of blind. And that'll be her 4th crystal.
3rd crystal.
Sorry, 3rd. She can complete her 4th crystal going to Skullwoods. Alright, let's see what comes out of Paradox Cave for Dracarys. Got a nice change of clothes, but that's about it.
Yeah, so not really what he wanted to see. I don't know, whenever I see that, the Dragonite sprite always looks a little bit sick.
I know, it's like, he ate something bad and has a really bad stomach bug.
I'm gonna say he should have washed his hands more.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, Emo hasn't found the item. So we know that one is a Mofula. So try to see if we can find the other item on here, and those are bombs.
Alright, so even without Fire Rod, Drac is gonna go ahead and check out, see if we can find that one item in Skullwoods first.
Yeah, I was in the basement of Skullwoods. It was just bombs. And Emo doing some quick work in the torch room.
Alright, we'll check out this moth fight.
Just really liking to be on the hang out on the spikes this time.
Ooh,
Ooh,
very close, but she pulls it off.
nice. The last item is just some 20 rupees. And that now is EmoSaru's 4th crystal. And Emo with the news that Pedestal is dead. Long live Ped.
Alright, she's gonna go back to the portal here. I'm not sure if it's faster to do this rather than walking out. I should time it at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for those asking in chat, the pedestal item is the Cane of Burna. It's an item that makes you invincible. It's nice to have, but not required for the seed.
Alright, Drac is gonna pick up his mitts out of Thieves Town here. I'm gonna say that once he finds that, he'll be enticed to finish out the blacksmith chain. Go south.
Yes, for those asking, the Cane of Samaria is on the floating island, which is not necessarily required to complete the dungeons for the crystals, but it may be needed if the big key to Ganna's tower is on the right side, in the compass room in particular.
Yeah, Emo hasn't seen that yet, but she'll be able to pick that up as soon as she goes up there.
Mm-hmm.
Emo doing a little bonk there. Okay, deciding not to continue on to catfish.
And that's Quake Medallion. Alright.
Yeah, this makes perfect sense. Another crystal dungeon. Might as well go to pod. These two teams are going to have a rematch on Ambrosia tomorrow. So the loser of this match is going to be looking to take their revenge. It looks like that's going to be Shireen versus Apathy Duck.
Very nice. Will it be the same time?
I think it'll be a couple hours earlier than this one was.
Gotcha.
Drac getting off script a little bit there.
But gets it done.
Yep. And that's his 4th crystal.
See what else we have on. We have that hasn't been checked yet, so we can definitely do Dark Death Mountain now. What else? No one has started up on the blacksmith chain yet. Dracarys still needs to get that fire rod.
Once he finds a flute here on Stumpy, you might be kind of more incentivized to check out those flipper locations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we still don't know where the hookshot is and the flippers. So the last 2 items to hit go mode.
Alright, Emo's not electing to do Helma's King first, so she might open up an extra chest or here and there.
Mm-hmm. Alright, but Dracarys gonna get a start on the blacksmith chain. Gonna bring them all home.
I've been seeing some rude items on blacksmith lately.
We'll see how rude he is. The seed. The first off, hammer pegs. Oh, half magic. Nice. It's always nice to have. And just some money.
Working hard at counterfeiting money, I see.
counterfeit smiths, as it were.
Alright, if you like what you see, go ahead and give these runners a follow.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they're putting on a great race so far. And again, this is only week 2 of the Link to the Past Randomizer League, and we have 5 more weeks to go. Starting off pretty easy in terms of the modes, but I think starting on week 4 with our Mystery Seed week, things are gonna start to get a little more interesting.
Yeah, I think this is the last week where we have kind of manageable settings. From here on out, everything's gonna go crazy.
Yeah. Yes, so for week 3 next week, it is going to be Randomizer. So I believe it is. Let's see. It's not like full chaos. We want the runners to actually finish the seeds. So for week 3 next week, it's going to be Diffie Ganon 7-7, enemy shuffle, and full boss shuffle. So unfortunately, we're not going to have, 5 Trinexes in one seed. But we could have Trinex on ice in Ganon's Tower, should they have to go that way.
Oh man.
Right.
Alright, 5th crystal for Emo. Drac is kind of running out of places. It's only got a few locations he can go to.
Let's see, checking out King's Tomb. Let's see where Emo goes from here. Yes, this is our first look into the Meyer area. And it looked like it was Quake.
I saw Bombos.
It was something wavy. Or something wavy, and it definitely was not Ether. Oh, those are flippers. And there's ball. Alright.
So we're just looking for hookshot at this point.
Now, where could this hook shot be?
Did Emo check Agina?
Yes, yeah. Actually, no.
I don't remember anymore.
I actually don't remember. I know Dracarys did. Yeah, but we'll see here with Emo now in Ice Palace. We'll see if this is a hookshot required dungeon by logic. Even if it is, I know there is a few bomb jumps that can be pulled off here, should it come to that.
Alright, Drac is gonna pick up his buttered sword on his way to Ice Palace as well.
And Ether's the minimal dorms makes them go away. And there's Butter's sword for Dracarys. Right, and Dracarys is following suit, following Emo into Ice Palace.
Alright, so we've only checked one chest so far. It wasn't a key.
Right, but Emo will be doing the bomb jump here. Ooh.
Seemed like a pretty specific setup to try to get that bomb jump.
Yeah.
I know when I do it, I just kind of go somewhere in that area, and it seems to work for me.
kind of cover over in that upper left corner of the hole there, and
yeah,
just kind of hope for the best. Really, it's that bomb jump is definitely not easy. Yeah, I think we found the first 2 items in Ice Palace already. I think.
No, I think it's only one. I think the compass was in the first chest.
Oh, that's right. The compass was in the first chest. That's right.
So they found one key.
And Emo doing the second, well, one of the other bomb jumps that can be performed in Ice Palace. However, can be a little bit more difficult to set up, but she does it with no problem at all. So I think with the current item layout, this is technically hookshot locked, right?
I've been trying to rack my brain for some reason.
We haven't found any like small keys.
No, there was a small key in Ice Tea Room.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Ice Palace, like logic, all the different ways you can run Ice Palace gets really confusing after a while.
I want to say it is hookshot locked.
Yeah.
Actually, see, I'm doubting myself again. But that is the second item.
Yeah. Right. Emo's going to be the first to go into cold stare fights. Butter sword, fire rod. We'll make this. You blink and cold stare's gone.
Taking that one hit down to 1 heart, but cold stare is down.
So for everyone coming in just now, this is Ambrosia mode for week 2 of the Link to the Past Randomizer League. So, one of the main things about this mode is that the dungeon bosses are always going to have an item that's not a dungeon item. So no maps, compasses, keys on them. So if you count your items right in a dungeon, and you know the last one, you're looking for one more item, just go right to the boss.
I want to say Drac almost got himself into trouble there. I know there's a way to like step off the block while you're pushing it, and then The block will be on the button, but the door will remain closed.
Ah. Yep, and you blink, and Colster's gone on Dracarys' side.
Alright, looks like Death Mountain is going to be too tempting for Emo to pass up, since she can do the dark side as well. Meanwhile, Drac does need to make his way to Waterfall Ferry.
Yeah, so with the gold mitts now, Emo can take a few more items over in Dark Death Mountain. Can actually check that first chest in Hookshot Cave with the boots. Although, that's right. Yeah, Pyramid Ferry is now open with Ice Palace and Terra completed, but we know that Hookshot can't be on there because Ice Palace needed it, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, this is definitely a nice play by Drac. I mean, he really doesn't have that much else open to him right now. And so this route is gonna let him clear out all his overworld locations that he has left. I think he's gonna leave behind Graveyard Ledge and Dark Death Mountain, and that's it.
Yeah. Nice little bomb dupe there.
Alright, we got some new checks coming up here.
Yeah, just realized our martyrs are... They have, let's see, Dracarys has what, 10 hearts? Emo has 9, so... Kind of it's pretty low heart count, but I think with Red Mail and Butterstore, they're not going to be dying anytime soon.
Yeah, and I do believe they both still have that fairy that they found at the very beginning.
That's right.
Alright, so the answer's not here on Dark Death Mountain. Is it on Catfish?
Oh, I thought it was hooked up for a second there. I had to do a double take.
Alright, Fire Rod gonna send Drac over to Skullwoods probably after this. Now I wasn't watching. Did Emo not check the floating island?
I think it's the first time back up here since completing Hera. I don't know if she checked it when she was here
she
earlier.
got it. Alright, I see it in her menu.
Yeah.
I missed it. Well, she has the option to dip Turtle Rock now.
She could. She can go all the way to Trinix and Oh, I've just realized that Turtle Rock is the green pendant. What is the hookshots there? That's possible, right?
Definitely could be.
Oh. But Emo's gonna say no to that idea, and instead, I believe she is going to do the blacksmith chain. Also, that's also would be funny if Hookshot was in its final location the entire time in Swamp Palace, because
Yeah,
that hasn't happened before, you know, in the history of Randomizer. Of course not.
yeah, we're down to some pretty bad spots for hookshot. It's going to be in
Mhm.
either Mire or Turtle Rock or Swamp, it looks like.
And Emo opting to not grab that half magic. Oh, that's right. So she'll drain her magic first and do the fake powder.
Alright, here's where we see if I'm a liar. Is fake powder useful?
We'll see. Just a lot of money for her troubles. Well, EmoSaru is rich now, so not much else. That doesn't lead us any closer to her hookshot.
Kind of surprised that Drac went through that effort to pick up the magic powder and then didn't go and check it right away. Because now he's not going to get to it until he's done this Turtle Rock gamble.
Alright, so where do our runners go from here?
We'll see if Emo's thinking about Pyramid Fairy or doing Swamp. I mean, this is pretty much down to the gamble of the game at this point. The seed's not really pointing you into any one of these directions, and you just kind of hope that you pick the right one and your opponent went somewhere else.
Yeah, so two runners going into two completely different locations. We'll see if they strike gold here. Although with Dracarys being in Turtle Rock, can be cleared in full, and can also get the green pendant to turn into Saha. But if the hookshot is in its home dungeon, well, we will see.
I mean, it is very suspicious that the game did not hide any of these Turtle Rock required items inside Ganon's tower.
Yeah, I mean, you got Ice Rod, what, 5 minutes into the seed, and there's the oh my god, oh my god, really?
Or it could just be hiding out in Swamp Palace.
Okay, I think that means we're in go mode. Is that?
Yep.
All right, everyone. In 1 hour, 13 minutes and change, EmoSaru of Yutang Clan is officially in go mode. Oh my gosh, that's like, you know, this. We've talked. I've always talked about this with runners and how for randomizer, it's great if you have great execution and everything, but it's best to be lucky than good at times. And I think this is definitely one of those cases.
Yeah, execution can help you do a few more checks than someone that's not quite as good. But a decision like this can let you skip so many checks that
Yeah,
even good execution can't save you.
exactly. You know, and again, what Dracarys is doing is not, it's, it's definitely a decision that could have been made, but and with so many items that can be found in Turtle Rock along with the Green Pendant, most runners would probably go that route. I would think, but again, that's Rando being Rando.
Yep. I mean, there's definitely more items here, so I can understand why Dracarys made this decision.
Right. Yeah, once Emo is done with Swamp Palace, she'll go right up to Ganon's Tower. Oh, Emo,
She
Emo,
does need to pick up a key, though.
Emo, gotta, can't get to Argus without a key there. There we go.
Normally, you only swim backwards here on indoor rando, but okay.
Alright, and Dracarys is... Okay, he's checking out Mimic Cave. For some reason, I thought he was gonna flute out and not complete Turtle Rock, but it looks like he's gonna full clear it.
Yeah, just to compare, Turtle Rock was worth 7 chests, whereas Swamp Palace is a max of 4.
Right.
And Dracarys also had Super Bunny Cave and Hookshot Cave to tempt him up here.
Alright, and with that, Swamp Palace completed, EmoSaru has attained her 7th crystal, and I believe she's going else. There she is. Like, where are you going, Emo? Alright, did someone actually start this already? There you go. Yeah, so get your Ganon's Tower big key guesses in chat. There are 22 chests in Ganon's Tower. Choose a number between 1 and 22 to see where that big key resides today. No numbers less than 1, no numbers more than 22. Actual whole numbers, people. Thank you. I see you with that 42 there.
I saw a record of all the guests at one point, and it's interesting to see the different numbers that people put in.
Yeah. No pie in their chat. And Ganon's Tower opens up with the 7 crystals. And I believe I'm gonna go ahead and head on in. Alright, chest number 1 is bombs. Chest number 2, power container.
It's a nice 0 cycle on Drax side.
Very nice. Alright, Bob's torch has the compass. Bob lives to see another day. Alright. Chest number 4. Bug net. Chest number 5. Small key 6. Another small key. And 7. Small key. Alright, we're gonna check out right side. Alright, we get quick work here.
Craig is dying right. Oh, okay, he's got the fairy.
He's got a fairy, yeah. Alright. I think that was chest 11 that we're up to now.
Sounds right.
Yep. Alright, and Emo has returned to the left side of the tower.
Yeah, Drac getting the bad news that his Turtle Rock play was almost certainly not worth it. He's only got the green pendant to go.
Alright. I think it was chest 12, right?
Yep, 12 was the magic cape.
Alright, coming up to the randomizer room. Named so because you only see this room in Link to the Past randomizer. Our fire shield, right? Alright. Nope.
It's hidden well.
Alright, so let's go pay a visit. We don't really make this visit in Ganon's Tower, but we're gonna see Ice Armor's Knights on Ice today. Alright, so we'll be seeing Bob's chest shortly, and if it's not in there, then we'll be the vanilla big key location behind Ice Armos.
We're up to 19 now. That's gonna be the first chest after Ice Armos.
Alright. Chest number 19. Chest number 20. 21. Oh my god, no! Well, whoever gets 22. You are the winner. We'll wait till Emo actually gets the chest first, and then we'll officially announce the winner.
Maybe the seed is broken and it's not in there.
Oh my god, could you imagine?
Yeah, congratulations to whoever gets 42, I guess.
Oh gosh. The one time that trick worked had to be today. Well, Dracarys did finish up Skullwoods and is gonna make that dip into Mire. Yeah, I have not seen Tile Room in action in the league yet, so I guess in the races that I've watched, but this is definitely a first for me. There we go, chest number 22.
Congratulations to Zeratech.
Congratulations, your prize today is you don't have to play the seed. Congrats. And finding the key in the last chest in Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, this is a fine play by Drac. I mean, after finding out that you spent all the time in Turtle Rock and that it's empty, you kind of have to guess that, you know, the other likely play that your opponent made was to dip into Swamp Palace, and so you need to have had that play to not work out.
Right.
And that's why he's going to go to Mystery Mire.
For those of you who came in, the hookshot was in the second chest, technically, in Swamp Palace. I think that's the vanilla map chest. I think the one that's behind the bombable wall.
Yep.
Cool. Emo will get some quick work in the Golem. So be very careful. Only running on 2 more hearts. And she never did grab that powder either. I don't know if she has any potions on her.
I'm gonna say she still has that fairy.
Oh, that's right, the fairy, yeah. Also, major props to Emo for using the normal beeping sound for low health and not the double beeping I heard the other day, which is the most stressful thing I've ever heard of. Wonderful Wizard Room. Alright. Oh. Does she have enough magic? Okay, good. Okay, good. I was like, Emo, what are you doing? There we go. Alright, see. Wrapping up the tower here. Emo. Just gotta defeat Molderm 2, and she'll be on her way.
Drac's doing a nice spooky setup on his side.
Very nice.
But he's gonna get this bad news once he takes down Vitreous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doing all 3 pendant dungeons with nothing to show for it.
Yeah. And again, it's one of the things that you know, in Renda, where like, where do you go to find your last item? And you have so many choices, and it's just one of them is going to be the right choice, and the other ones are not. Oh, that was a nice triple. That's a really nice setup for Agate 2. Very nice. again, econometry is not the easiest of subjects when it comes to the past randomizer. But no matter, Emo's gonna drop down, meet our very good friend, Ganon. Yeah, Buttersword will make this fight done in no time, although I'll be very careful. And there's the fairy.
Yep.
Alright. Now in phase 3 of the Ganon fight. And Dracarys leaving a lovely present for the hook shot. Oh no, silver is my one true weakness. Oh, almost with the triple. There we go.
She takes down Ganon. Go ahead and get your GGs in chat for EmoSaru, taking this race for Yutang Clan.
Gotta cross the bridge, and GG's for EmoSaru, finishing with an in-game time of 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 48 seconds. And the first win for Yutang Clan.
Let's see if we can get her in here for an interview.
And I believe at this point, Dracarys does forfeit. GG's, please put your GG's for Dracarys as well, everyone.
And we're joined by EmoSaru. GG.
Yeah.
That was quite a thing. I was not. Yeah, that hookshot location was not nice.
So both you and Dracarys were pretty much following each other's footsteps and kind of switching back and forth between dungeons, and it came to the point where Dracarys went into Turtle Rock and you went into Swamp.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit, but that's honestly what I assumed happened even before we had talked. I thought very seriously about it at several points, but my thought was, I don't know, this Ambrosia thing is kind of weird because you know you're gonna have the boots,
right?
And so I was like, okay, well, I feel like I can do the front of Swamp like relatively quickly in the grand scheme of things, and if it does happen to work out, that's great, and if it doesn't, then I'm ideally set up to go straight to Pyramid Fairy and Pyramid, which I never checked, and then Catfish, and then I could start doing those 2 dungeons, and I figured it would be a coin flip at that point. Then I got the hookshot in the bombable wall chests in Swamp, and I said some words that I can't say on stream, and then the rest of it happened. So yeah.
Yeah, how do you feel about we were talking about Ambrosia mode a little bit. How do you feel about the mode? You know, it's a little bit different from, you know, normal 7/7 open seeds and whatnot.
So okay. I like what it does to the dungeons as a general statement, because I think it makes it more interesting to think about, especially the 2-item dungeons. They become way more like logically interesting. I like the boots hint because the game is exponentially more fun with boots. I think that standard start is kind of a like double-edged sword. Bomb drops were really thin. The seed, at least for me, I didn't get any in Escape, and that's always like a big feels bad man. So I don't know, like I I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think the chest in the dungeon thing is kind of interesting, and I think we should just always have a boots hint. I don't think that should be a mode thing. I think we should just always have a boots hint because it makes the game fun. But it's fine. I don't know. I don't know how much I'll play of it outside of like when it might come up, in this league thing. But it's pretty cool.
And also to put an update, Dracarys will not be joining us for post-race interview tonight. But regardless, please be sure GG's to Dracarys for putting on a good race between the two of you. And it seemed that did you notice anything weird about this particular race? I guess everything up until the search for the hookshot seemed pretty straightforward from the looks of it.
No, I mean, this, like, up until the hookshot, the seed was just kind of throwing stuff at you. Like, the worst thing about the seed was the option to go into either Mire or Turtle Rock, like, right at the time when you would have gone up there. And, I happened to decide to avoid it. I have great sympathy for Dracarys because I think that what they did was 100% reasonable. I just made a different choice, right? So, that sucks. It's the game, but no, I thought it was pretty free, and we ended up with like epic swords and silvers and stuff. The only thing that was a little bit weird, given the way it played out, because I could have imagined him rushing swamp even before I did. Like somebody could have very easily done that. I didn't feel like I was rushing swamp. Like I cleared all the easy overworld. That was, 3 items or more before I went and did swamp. And I could have seen somebody rushing swamp earlier. So the reason I actually did sort of dumb GT route and went back over to right side was because of the way that I had routed it, I had gotten that Samaria, which was 100% optional to get.
Yes,
there was no need to get it whatsoever. And so I was like, okay, well, if he didn't go get that Samaria, then, maybe that'll be the thing, that does it for me. And so I'll go back over and do right side GT, which turned out to not be a thing. But yeah.
So you were afraid you were kind of behind at that point going into GT?
I was. So, I mean, the further that I got up GT, the actual tower itself, the less afraid I was. Because
but entering GT, you had that thought in your head.
I had a feeling. I didn't think that I was going to be more than about a minute and a half behind, but I thought I might be a minute and a half or two behind, and it might be really, really close. So I wanted to try and do something that might shift it the other way in GT. It didn't end up being necessary, but that was my thought process.
Yeah. Actually, turns out that I always forget that Samaria is needed to get into title room, which is how big he was in the seed.
That's true, actually.
Yeah.
Samaria was 100% required for the seed, and it would have sucked to not have that. I completely forgot about the hard show that was Tile Room, but yeah.
Yeah, we were counting down the chest and just like, where is this big key? And then it got to Isermos and just like, oh, it's there.
Yeah.
But I think, because with Mire and Turtle Rock being pendant dungeons, Samaria technically was not needed to clear those dungeons and to open up Ganon's tower, but it could have been required to get the big key. And I think where it was found on Floating Islands, I think it's kind of bailed you guys out in a sense. It was just right there.
For sure. Having it be visible was definitely the only reason I got it. Otherwise it would have been another hunt, right? If it hadn't been in swamp. So yeah, it was kind of wacky.
And we're also talking. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, one thing that I remember is that you water walked up to Waterfall Ferry, but then I think you happened to bonk or something and lost it?
Yeah, I bonked.
Okay.
I bonked and lost the water walk, and then I had forgotten that because I had killed Armos and not reset my splash deletion stuff was going to be weird. So it was weird.
Yeah, and I think you ran out of arrows at that point, right? To give it
Yeah,
up
I only had enough for one attempt, so I figured while I was up there I would go for it, and then I had forgotten about that, and so that was a bummer. But fortunately, because I got the Samaria when I did, like nothing was actually on Magic Bat, but I ended up with the mushroom and Samaria at a time when I would have gone and checked that stuff anyway. So
Yeah, I think also you got the fire rod early as well, so you were to clear out Skullwoods before Dracarys did. He actually got the flippers, and then he did all the checks in the Zora area.
yeah.
So that was also one of the differences between both of your runs tonight.
But I mean that's the thing. Like you lost the water walk, and then you had to come back to check Waterfall Ferry again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. There were. Honestly, I played pretty poorly, like practically speaking, the seed. Part of the reason I forgot about Talroom is because everything after my gauntlet in GT was a cluster thing.
Yes.
And so yeah, it was a whole thing. I'm expecting a long, annoyed voice chat from somebody later, so that'll be fun.
There's definitely been some.
I think they're in chat right now.
Oh, no, there's no question about that. I'm well aware of what's coming. But I've got one nice teammate who will probably just be happy we got a win. And then there's Apathy Duck. So that'll be cool. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so this is your team's first win, and your second match with Clown Parade will be taking place tomorrow. Looks like it'll be at a little bit earlier at 7:10 p.m. Eastern with Shireen versus Apathy Duck. Have you guys done much practice runs?
See, he's done some, but you guys, you do gotta watch. You do gotta watch old Ducky B do the run tomorrow. The thing you gotta understand about him is that he got babies to feed. He got babies. So if you guys don't watch the race, how are you gonna feed his babies? We're just.
This is true. Yeah, so we are looking forward to match 2 of Clown Parade and Utane Clan tomorrow evening at 7:10 p.m. Eastern. I think we're close to wrapping things up for tonight. Is there anything else you would like to leave with us for tonight?
Yeah. Utang, diversify your bonds, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you. Again, congratulations for winning, for being a winner for this race, and GG's to Dracarys. And yeah, I can't think of anything. I think we're good for tonight. I believe this is we do have one more race that's going to be starting up. So it's a late night race for anyone who's going to be up. It's going to be at 12:40 a.m. Wednesday early morning, and Pacific time. It's going to be at 9:40 p.m. But it's going to be Budware Buddies versus Where in the World is Our Gosh Dang Bombos over on Speed Gaming channel with Chelsea Lynn versus Flaming Rock. And we have the wonderful commentary team of Fantalis and JP. So if you guys are around for some late night rando, we hope you guys can join us. Again, follow the runners, Dracarys and EmoSaru. If you guys want to check out what else they do on their streams. And tonight for tracking, we had Lumaga keeping track of all the items. Definitely not an easy job when it comes to rando. Thank you so very much. And Beardy Wong, thank you so much for commentating. It was a pleasure calling this race with you.
Yep, same here. Make sure to give everyone a follow, and we hope to see you for the next race.
Yeah. Until then, we'll see you guys next time.